So news just coming in, there are speculations over Virat Kohli's cryptic post. Day after his ugly spat with Gautam Gambhir, Virat Kohli has posted some cryptic Instagram post. In fact, he says, everything we hear is opinion, not fact. Everything we hear or we see is perspective, not the truth. The Lucknow team mentor, Gautam Gambhir and Bangalore star player Virat Kholi were fined 100% of their match fee after the fracas that followed the RCB versus LSG IPL game in Lucknow last night. IPL 2023 game between Lucknow Super Giants and Royal Challengers Bangalore in Lucknow on Monday was witness to some very ugly scenes as RCB star batter Virat Kholi and LSG mentor Gautam Gambhir had a heated exchange. Nikhil Naz has more details. Nikhil, in fact, that spat has been in news for all the wrong reasons and it's been dominating the headlines. What do you really make of the post that has been put out, that story that has been put out by Virat Kholi now?
Sarah, I think this is pertaining to not just the incident that took place right after the game, for which both Virat Kholi, Gautam Gambhir, as well as Naveen, the Afghanistan player, has been fined. I think what he's trying to hint at is the fact that the opinions that have followed after the incident. There have been, political posts on social media. There have been fans taking sides, respective set of fans of Gautam Gambhir, as well as Virat Kholi. There has been a lot of speculation in the media as well as to who was wrong and who was right. I think what Virat, by his post, is trying to say is that everything that is now being spoken of, whether it is in mainstream media, whether it is on social media, whether it is, people taking sides or mentioning, who's right or wrong. So he's, I think, talking about that everything that is being spoken on the outside are people who don't know exactly what transpired while that entire incident was happening in the game. So on that count, I think Virat is right, is correct to point that out, because you could really see two of them, whether it's Gautam Gambhir, Virat Kholi, Naveen or Virat Kholi, all come face to face, have animated discussions, but we don't know what really transpired, all of that, what really instigated the entire thing, and who really was the aggressor and who then was defending itself. So all of that is not pretty evident in the picture. But what you can see, and if I was to just mention the fact, what you can see is that, of course, there was a breach of code of conduct, whether it was on the part of Virat Kholi, whether it was Gautam Gambhir or a few other players of Lucknow Super Giants. Everything that they did and whatever the camera captured was against then the spirit of the game, and that was beyond the code of conduct, for which they have been fined right now. Yes. The following insinuations, the following opinions that are coming around, that may be something that either of the players may not agree to, because truth be told, actually no one really knows what was really spoken between the two camps.
Are you picking up anything on the front of either of them reaching out, to one another, having a conversation about what really went wrong, and they just sort of make up for what really happened? Because this was rather ugly. We don't know what really transpired, we don't know about the conversation, but it did look fairly animated, isn't it?
It did, Seha. So, I mean, there is right now no report of them reaching out to each other, but, it's interesting that you point that out, because a similar incident had happened in this IPL, in the game before this, between these two teams, a game that was played in Bangalore. In fact, that was an occasion where you did see Gautam Gambhir celebrate in a certain way that was widely reported in social media as well as mainstream media, where, he actually put a finger to his lip, actually silencing the Bangalore crowd. And I think whatever you saw with Virat Kohli's celebration was in a sort of response to that particular game at the time that it happened. But on that occasion, despite the celebrations after the match by Gautam Gambhir and all that was said, the two of them did pose with each other for photographs. Remember, they are teammates at the state level. They are, they've played international cricket together. So they've been teammates for a long time. So they did, bury the hatchet at that time, shook hands, and there were pictures that were circulated after all of that was done. This time around, none of that has happened for the moment. But if you did see the two of them having a conversation, Yes, it is breaching the code of conduct, but it seemed to be a sort of conversation where each of them is trying to then justify their position or their team's position, which is quite contrary to what had happened last time around, where it was confrontational. This time it did seem like that they were trying to, put their side of the story. And to be fair to Virat Kohli, he seemed the calmer of the two in the entire situation. I think that one point where Virat was more aggressive was on the field. But I think, and probably because of those celebrations that he had on the field, is why you saw the Lucknow Super Giants player react the way they did after the game was over. But throughout that entire conversation that happens after the game is over, you could see Virat Kohli not being confrontational, but explaining himself and trying to tell the players why exactly he may have done what he did while the play was on. So on that front, we don't know whether they've spoken. But I mean, I think it's a cricketing incident. It's happened. I think they've been fine. And it's happened previously in international cricket as well. I think they'll move on from here.
Okay.